Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA and I am in the financial district of New York City, right outside of the beautiful Oculus building. Now this is a really beautiful, really impressive work of architecture here in the financial district, here in FiDi in New York, which houses a mall on the inside, many train lines, including the PATH train and the MTA, many MTA lines. They sunk quite a bit of coin into this, so you know, it was a little bit controversial, but I think it's pretty neat. But the reason why I'm down here is because I just want to show you guys one of the best pastrami deals in the whole city, maybe even the best. I stumbled across this place the other day. I was really, craving Jewish deli food, and I popped inside. I thought maybe it would be, kind of touristy, but I was starving and I really needed to eat lunch. And what I found was an incredible pastrami and rye deal in a pretty good part of town too. Like, this place is pretty easy to get to. This is kind of a central hub of New York that's easy to get to on the southern tip of Manhattan. And if you can see it back there where it says Stage Door, right across the street from, or not right across, but pretty much down the street from this central transportation hub, this Oculus building is, in my mind, an objectively fantastic place for pastrami, but also possibly the best pastrami deal I've ever seen. So let me show you real quick. It's lunchtime now, and I love this place. It's amazing food for amazing value. So I really needed to make a vid just to show you guys this place. So let's go check it out. Yeah, so that's it here, and the recent construction's making it even more unsightly, but let me try to find a better angle. So unfortunately, the construction is kind of covering a lot of the walkway, and it's kind of obscuring the sign too. I don't think this was here the other day. There's a sign up there for this place, Stage Door Delicatessen, but yeah. Unfortunately, their main sign is being covered, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna use for a thumbnail, but trust me, this place might not look like much from the outside. It kind of looks tourist trappy and just like a really generic, one of those like bodegas that also serve food, one of those really cheap delis slash diners. But trust me guys, this place doesn't just have a good location. The food here is fantastic and reasonably priced, so let's check it out. Now, before we continue with the rest of the video, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, Surfshark. Now, the world we live in is becoming more and more sus. Besides scary things like data breaches and AI scams, even legally, it just seems like we're being tracked all the time. I was talking to Tina about chores the other day, and then literally a second later, I was shown an ad for a maid service. It's like some Black Mirror stuff. That's why VPNs are so important, and the Surfshark VPN masks what you do online, so everything you do is encrypted and blurred. A good way to think about it is like closing the blinds of your windows so people can't see into your house. The way VPNs do this though is they route your internet through a private server rather than just directly through an internet service provider, so your identity is masked online. I like the added peace of mind that Surfshark provides, but an added benefit is I can pick a server from anywhere in the world. So if I'm getting tired of American Netflix, I can check out what Netflix is showing in Japan or South Korea. It's pretty neat. And if you don't like Surfshark for whatever reason, they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to surfshark.com and use my promo code UAEats, or click the link in the description below to get 4 extra months of Surfshark for free. And now, back to our video.
How much the salad? How much the salad? How much the salad?
Yeah. So I've eaten here a few times at this point, and yeah, there was a long line earlier, but it's getting smaller. I guess the lunch rush is kind of clearing away. But yeah, I mean, this kind of, it may not look like much, but many of the corner delis in New York will look like this. In Harlem and the Bronx, these are often the best places to get a great chopped cheese. So in a way, it may not look like one of those traditional Jewish delis that we've gone on this channel, but this is kind of as quintessential New York as it gets. And the crowd also looks like a mix of locals and tourists. So it's not just all tourists despite the location. And just like any sort of one of these bodegas slash delis, there's a ton of stuff on the menu, pretty much anything that you could possibly want for American style food. But this is what we want here from the carving board. This is their Jewish Deli section, you might say, mostly because they have pastrami there and they have corned beef. $15.50 and $14.50, not a bad price, right? If you ask me, it doesn't get much better than that, so let's order. Let me do one pastrami on rye with mustard. No cheese. You got a corned beef? One corned beef also. With mustard, yes. No cheese, no cheese. Do you guys have soup?
Yeah, chicken soup and lentil soup.
Oh, okay, a lentil.
Large or small?
Small, small.
Lento, pequeño.
The corned beef, let me do that to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, both the same.
Everything they get.
Chips and like that. Chips and pickles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They'll all be like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, then don't worry about it. Okay. And of course, another good sign is they got their Dr. Brown soda here. Now, many of you introduced me to Dr. Brown's for the first time. I'm personally a fan of the cream soda. I find the black cherry a little bit too sweet for me. The sweetness cuts through the fattiness and the saltiness of the Jewish deli food perfectly. I got one of these, and I also had a corned beef and a pastrami. Yep, 2 sandwiches, yep.
You got 2 sandwiches?
Yeah, one is for later.
And a soup?
And a soup, yeah, that's right.
That's going?
For here.
For here, nice.
We got something in a man.
No worries, no worries.
I'm sorry, bro.
No, it's okay, don't worry about it.
Okay, all right, take care. Bye-bye, my friend. All right.
Hey, good shit.
All right, so we're here with our pretty large selection of food. I don't know if you guys heard, but when I got 2 sandwiches, he was pretty surprised. He went, "You got 2 sandwiches?" But, you know, we want to review both, and one will be for later. You know, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish both of these. They have a really nice space here. I actually was not aware, because I've been here a few times since I discovered this amazing price, but I've been here a few times, and I actually didn't know that they had a separate space on the 2nd floor for dining. Although most of this is for table service. I didn't even know they had table service, but the section, the little station I have here is just like a little casual sort of seating section here just for people who are eating without table service, I guess, which is fair. I guess that's a reasonable policy, but let me show you what we got. I mean, they kind of gave me both things in to-go containers. Let's open them up so that they don't oversteam. So this here is a corned beef, and this here is a pastrami, and these prices are super reasonable. Now, I don't know about you guys, obviously not exactly expecting Katz's Deli, but this corned beef is not looking bad for what we paid. That $14.50 is the corned beef, and the $15.50 is pastrami. So $15.50 for this pastrami with some bark, a great color. Yeah, you know, like I said, not exactly Katz's Deli, but still a decent portion and a good price. And quality's looking decent too. And those prices, $14.50, $15.50, they include some chips too. So you get a side. It's not just a sandwich like at those other places. So, you know what, let's let these not get too cold, why don't we? And let's try the soup, the lentil soup. Now they don't have matzo ball soup here, but they do have lentil soup. So this place, Stage Door Deli, I guess it's not really a completely traditional Jewish deli without matzo ball soup on the menu, but this lentil soup is looking kind of decent too. Nice and tomatoey, chock full of beans, so. Or not beans, lentils, or legumes, you know what I mean. So let's try some of the lentil soup. Not matzo ball soup for once, right? You know, it's pretty good. I was expecting it to be more lentil heavy. Like I've had lentil soups that are pretty much all lentils, and then they have some spices in, maybe some miscellaneous veggies here and there. This is really less like a lentil stew in that regard, like a lentil porridge, and more like a true soup. Like they got big pieces of celery and tomato and onion and whatever other vegetables mixed in there actually is liquid and not just a sludge of lentils. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like both. Like, I like when it's that thick, homey lentil soup that we all know. But in this case, it's more of a soupy consistency, which I don't mind. And the soup has good flavor too. Like the broth I meant. Like, it's got a good fresh tomato flavor. I get the sense that these are fresher tomatoes, not the canned kind. Hopefully I'm right about that. And the seasoning's on point. Not too salty, not too many spices. So, yeah, let's try another scoop of this. Doesn't that just look pretty decent? And actually the temperature's perfect. It's not too hot. I don't actually need to blow it. Like, it might look like it's steaming hot, but I can just put it straight in my mouth without blowing it. So they have it set to the perfect simmering temperature too in the pot. So super impressed with this soup. Tastes good and it's healthy. Love when you get that perfect intersection like that. But put the cap back on that. Keep it at its perfect temperature. And now flip this lid back open. Let's try the corned beef. Or you know what? I changed my mind. Let's do pastrami first because I'm pretty hungry and my body is craving this and calling for it. Like I said, once again, I mean, can't expect Katz's, can't expect 2nd Avenue. You know, you can't expect it to be like one of the best pastramis you've ever had, but that looks pretty good, right? And the bread even looks like pretty decent quality. Like, even Katz's kind of uses that like cheap supermarket bread, but no, that's looking pretty solid. So I guess let's just do away with the paper. Whoops. Oh no, we lost some precious pastrami. The rest of your pastramis continue to live on to the fullest. You'll remember them by living to the fullest and by fulfilling your purpose of being eaten by me. Anyways, let's try a bite of this 1550 pastrami sandwich. Like I said, if you go in expecting like Katz's Deli or something, then you'll probably be let down. But if you go in expecting more like some of the other decent pastrami places that are not quite that level, like Harold's and Edison, it's pretty close. One gripe I have is I wish they gave me a little more mustard, or it looks like the mustard is not super even, so maybe I just got unlucky with a bite that had less. But just look at this delicious, fatty, and super soft, tender pastrami. In fact, I mean, at least with the grain, it comes apart easily. Against the grain, I guess not so much, which is probably why they need to slice it as thin as it is to make it soft. But trust me, even though it might seem a little rubbery and tough in some angles, somehow when you bite into it, it just comes apart really easily. There's great bark too on the pastrami. I like that. Like, I hate when you eat at a pastrami place and there's not enough bark. But in this case, like, they sliced it in a way that you get some great bark in every bite. The peppery bark has a great spiced flavor, really counterbalances the fattiness. This pastrami's got like a great fat to lean ratio, you might say. Like, it's not too fatty. It's got like enough lean, but it's also fatty enough where you get some delicious juicy bites. And again, for $15.50, I think it's a pretty reasonable price. Time for another bite. And just look at all those pieces of bark mixed in, even when I bite into the middle of the sandwich. I mean, again, let me show you the other sandwich. Fantastic. Like, they've layered the sandwich well. There's some fat, there's some lean. As you can see, there's bits of peppery bark all throughout. And you get a bag of chips and a pickle. $15.50. I don't think it's a bad price, especially in an area like this. So, I love that they give you chips because oftentimes when you go to these like pastrami joints, it's so expensive that you pretty much only eat the sandwich. Here you get some starch to balance out your meal. Palate cleanse with our amazing Dr. Brown's cream soda. I'm a cream soda guy, not so much a fan of the black cherry flavor. And really helps to offset the greasy, fatty saltiness of the cured meat. Let's now review the corned beef, which also comes with the chips and a pickle. And this is looking like a mean corned beef as well. Looking super juicy. I'm not usually a corned beef fan, but I'm excited for this. Let's try a bite of this less than $15, $14.50 corned beef. This one looks like it's mustard on both sides, so I shouldn't have much of an issue with the mustard this time. This one is good, but maybe it's partially because I just don't like corned beef as much as I like pastrami. While this one's good, I find this one less good than the pastrami. It's really, really soft, really, really tender. It's got like the fat and the lean ratio is great. And it's also not too greasy. Like you eat this and you can easily keep going and not feel like you're overwhelmed by fattiness, greasiness. But I guess this one, like I wish that the cured flavor were stronger. Maybe a little bit more salt would bring it out, but I wish that the flavor were a little bit stronger in the corned beef here. It is very good, but I would say this corned beef is more above average. While the pastrami sandwich, I would say, was shockingly good. Like, I don't know how it looked in the camera, but it certainly tasted up there with some pretty solid Jewish delis I've been to. Like, I do think Harold's in Edison is a very good analogy. It was very, very similar to that one in taste and texture. And for just $15.50, so the corned beef, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just not necessarily the biggest corned beef fan, but overall, guys, you can't beat these prices. The location is great. Nowadays, with pastrami prices and Jewish delis so crazy overpriced, I felt like this place was an incredible find, so just wanted to share my thoughts on it. But anyways, have you eaten at this place before, Stage Door Deli? Let me know what you think. And what do you think about me doing videos like this? I know I tend to eat at some more higher profile places, some more famous places, and less places off the beaten path. So let me know what you think of this topic, and if you would like to see more vids like this, or if I should stick to the big name places. Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my vids, please like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. Until next time, I'll catch you later.